Hi, my name is Sunday. In this video, I'll be talking about the protocols that the federal government have put in place for travelers that will be arriving in Nigeria. Due to the opening of international flights, so the federal government have put in place different type of protocols that people need to abide to. People that will be arriving in Nigeria. Before they arrive in Nigeria, things they need to do, and also after they arrive in Nigeria, things that they also need to do as well, including Nigerians that will be returning from different parts of the world as well. So it says quarantine protocol for travelers arriving in Nigeria from any country. Wherever you are coming from, as far as you are coming from outside Nigeria, so you need to abide by this quarantine protocol. You need to abide by these rules that are set on ground. So what you need to do in the country where you want to depart, and what you also need to do when you get to Nigeria as well. But first, before we get deep into it, if you know you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe. And make sure you click the notification bell so whenever I upload any new videos or information, you will know. Now, let's get started. So this is a document issued by the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 in Nigeria. It says COVID-19 response, provisional quarantine protocol for travelers arriving in Nigeria from any country. Travelers arriving in Nigeria from any country. So it says A, pre-departure from country of exit. So let's look at it. Before you depart the country where you are living, before you come to Nigeria, so what you need to put in place and things that you need to do before you can board the flight and come over to Nigeria. So it says public health measures are applicable to all passengers entering or leaving Nigeria during the COVID-19 pandemic. 1. All travelers arriving in Nigeria must have tested negative for COVID-19 by PCR in country of departure pre-boarding. The PCR test must be within 96 hours, that's 4 days, must be within 96 hours before departure, and preferably within 72 hours, that's within 3 days, preferably within 72 hours pre-boarding. So any passengers arriving in Nigeria must have tested negative to COVID-19. So that is what they are saying. You need to have done the test before you depart the country where you want to live, before you get to Nigeria. Then 2, tests done more than 96 hours before departure are not valid. If you have done the test 5 days ago before you depart, or 1 week ago before you board a flight, they are saying that it's not valid and persons will not be allowed to board. But for the 72 hours minimum, this is advisory and will not preclude boarding. So that's what they are saying. 72 hours is what they are advising everyone to go for. So meaning the test has to be within 3 days. Although they say within 4 days, but preferably within 3 days. So, third, all intending passengers are required to register via an online national payment portal. That's Nigeria International Travel Portal. So that is the link. So you have to register online before you even depart the country where you want to depart. You have to also register online as well and pay for a repeat second PCR test to be done upon arrival in Nigeria. So when registering, then you also need to pay for a second repeat test, because the first test you've done is the one you are going to do before you depart the country you are living from. And when you also get to Nigeria, so you need to have paid online. So when you get to Nigeria, you're also going to do another test. So whoever that is going to Nigeria, you have to pay for the second test as well before you depart. You need to have paid that money. So when you get to Nigeria, that test will be done after 7 days of arrival. So once payment is completed, passengers will receive an email from the selected laboratory of their choice, providing them with a laboratory link to register for the repeat COVID-19 PCR test on the 7th day after arrival. So after payment has been done, they will send you an email, then giving you a choice through a link where you need to do the second repeat test of COVID-19 in Nigeria after 7 days of arrival. Say passengers will be able to choose a sample collection center and an appointment time and date for sample collection. So you also have a choice to choose wherever you want to do the test as well. A list of accredited private laboratory providers and sample collection center across the country will be available on the payment platform and the NCDC website. So the list of different laboratories will also be available. You can also choose from anyone. Then 5. Prior to boarding, passengers are requested to upload the COVID-19 PCR negative result on the National Payment Portal and bring along an electronic or hard copy of the result for presentation at the airport. Now, what they are trying to say here is this. When you are filling the form online, you are also advised to also upload the negative test that you have gotten, that you have done in the country where you want to depart. So 6, it says airlines must only board passengers with negative COVID-19 test result carried out within the stipulated 96 hours before boarding. That is within 4 months. They must only board, allow people with negative tests carried out within 96 hours, within 4 days to board. Airlines that board passengers, this is the warning. Airlines that board passengers without negative COVID-19 PCR test or test result of more than 96 hours prior to boarding will be sanctioned as follows. So any airlines that board any passengers without negative COVID-19 test will be sanctioned, and also anyone that also have negative COVID-19 test of which is more than the 96 hours stipulated, maybe 5 days or 7 days or a week. If the airline still bought such person, then the airline is still under sanction. So under the sanction A, it says non-Nigerians may be refused entry and return to the point of embarkation at cost of the airlines. So anyone that is not a Nigerian and is coming without COVID-19 test, the negative test, the person may be repatriated on the cost of the airline. Then they will just say, maybe the person just go back. He has to go back into that same flight again. Then the flight will take that person away again on the cost of the airline. Then 2, Nigerians will be allowed entry. So if you are a Nigerian, even though you don't have COVID-19 negative test and the airline peradventure they board you, and when you get to Nigeria, you will not be driven away, but they will accept you. But look at it. When they accept you, but subjected to a mandatory quarantine of 8 to 14 days. If you don't have that negative test, if any airline say by mistake boards you, when you get to Nigeria as a Nigerian, so you have to go on a mandatory quarantine of 8 to 14 days, depending on the result of the COVID-19 PCR test done from day 7 of arrival at a facility approved by the government and at a cost to the passenger. So anything that they are going to do there, it will be on your head and at your cost. So that is what they are trying to say. So if you come to Nigeria without COVID-19 test, then they have to forcefully quarantine you. Then you also have to pay for the cost of everything that needs to be done. Then C, airlines will be fined $3,500 per passenger for failure to comply with the pre-boarding requirements. B, on arrival in Nigeria. On arrival, now we have talked about before you depart any country you are departing from. So these are things that you need to put in order. The most important one, you need to have your COVID-19 negative test done within 96 hours, that's within 4 days. Then preferably it has to be 72 hours, that's within 3 days. So that's number 1. After you have done that, then you need to also fill out the form, and also pay as well. You have to pay for the second test that you need to undergo in Nigeria. While you are still in the country where you want to depart, you need to do all these things online. It's as if maybe there are many hurdles or there are many rivers you need to cross before you get to Nigeria. So there are many rivers that you need to cross before you get to Nigeria. When you also get to Nigeria, then you face the music again. Now, on arrival, when you get to Nigeria, let's face the music. It says, on arrival in Nigeria, all passengers or persons arriving in Nigeria will be required. Listen to this, will be required. If you arrive successfully, you come down in Nigeria, this is what you now face again. The music, the tune that you now dance to on arrival. So, 1, to go through the routine port health screening and present electronic or print out evidence of the pre-boarding PCR test result and evidence of payment and appointment for a repeat PCR test in country. You need to present the original copy of the COVID-19 negative test that you have done in the country where you departed from, and also the payment, the slip of the payment that you used to also pay as well for the COVID-19 second repeated test that you need to do in Nigeria. So these are the things that I'm going to ask you when you land in Nigeria. Then 2, to present, you are obliged to present the international passport for clearance through the Nigerian Immigration Service System's Migrant Identification Data Analysis System. It says passports will not be retained by the Nigerian Immigration Service. So previously, before all these things, they are announced before that anyone coming to Nigeria, they are going to take away their passport. Then after everything, they will have to give it back to them. But now, in this protocol now, they are saying that no passport will be retained, meaning they are not going to seize any passport. When you get to Nigeria, so no seizing of passport, they're not going to take away any passport. Previously, they first said they're going to collect anybody coming to Nigeria, going to collect their passport, except for those diplomatic people, they're going to leave those diplomatic passport. But now they are saying that no retention of passport. They are not going to retain or take away your passport. Then 3, to proceed on 7-day self-isolation quarantine. Anytime you arrive, whether you are having the negative test, so you are obliged to proceed to 7-day self-isolation quarantine. So that is what they are saying. You have to proceed to that. Then during which time they are to avoid physical interaction with friends, families, colleagues, and other members of the public. So when you get to Nigeria, for within the 7 days, you are not allowed to kiss your wife. If you are a man going to Nigeria, you are not allowed to embrace your wife or embrace your husband or embrace your children. For complete 7 days, you have to stay away from your family. You have to stay away from your wife. You have to stay away from your mother, from your father, from whoever, from your children. So within that cell, that is what they are saying. Under the protocol, you are not allowed to get in contact with anyone. That is, must observe strict physical and social distancing. Then passengers who fail to submit themselves at the sample collection center on day 7 of arrival will be sent text message and their details forwarded to the State Public Health Department teams and NCDC for active follow-up. So whoever that fails to come, number 1, on the 7th day, whoever that fails to come, maybe the person just forgets. Whoever that fails to call, the person not care. Whoever that fails to come, they'll still first send the person's text message to remind the person. Then, private laboratory will be required to forward details of passengers who decline, who fail, who decline repeat PCR tests by days 14th of arrival will face a penalty. These passengers may face suspension of their passport or inclusion on a travel watch list for 6 months and denied foreign travel for this period. So you cannot travel for complete 6 months. So these are the things you need to abide to. He said, see, test results will be ready within 24 to 48 hours and the State Public Department teams and Nigeria Center for Disease Control will be informed accordingly. D. Persons who test positive for COVID-19 will be managed based on national guidelines for COVID-19 treatment. Then E. Persons who test negative for COVID-19 after 7 days will end self-isolation on the 8th day. Then whoever that tests negative, then the person will have to go. We have to let when the person have done the second repeat test. Then F. Travelers reporting or developing symptoms of COVID-19 on arrival or during screening will not be allowed to self-quarantine and will be placed in institutional quarantine. Then H. Passengers will be monitored by public health officials during the period of self-isolation and quarantine. For this reason, passengers will be required to provide a functioning telephone number on their online registration form. Persons who develop symptoms of COVID-19 during the isolation period will immediately be tested for COVID-19. If positive, they will be managed based on national guidelines of COVID-19 treatment. So lastly, C, exit from self-isolation. Whoever that have been on self-isolation, persons who have tested negative for COVID-19 after 7 days when you come to Nigeria. So after 7 days, you come back to do the repeat test. The first one was negative result that you brought from the country you were coming from. Then the second one, after 7 days, when you also test negative again, then you are allowed to leave self-isolation or quarantine. So in a nutshell, whoever that wants to depart any country, they are saying that you need to have negative certificate of COVID-19 done within 96 hours. That is within 4 days. Preferably, the one they like most, preferably within 3 days, which is 72 hours. That is what they are saying. Then if you fail to have it, when you get to Nigeria, you have to undergo mandatory quarantine. And also, before you also depart, another thing, you also need to pay ahead, pay online for the second test that you will also do in Nigeria again. So you need to pay again for the second COVID-19 test that you need to do in Nigeria. So there are many problems or many questions to solve while going to Nigeria. So you got to really sit down and think about it before you jump on flights and go to Nigeria. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, comment, and also share it to others as well. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe. And make sure you click the notification bell so whenever I upload any new videos or information, you will know. Thank you and God bless you. Bye.